If you look up the phrase, Africa Society, in Google, you'll still see images of need, remoteness, crowded spaces, and more crowded spaces. But the reality is that much of Africa is contemporary, urban, and manicured, boasting sophisticated modern architecture in megacities that rival that of the best cities globally. In this report, we profiled the 5 most beautiful city skylines in Africa. This one is for the latecomers around the world who need to catch up with the happenings in present-day Africa. So with that, let's get on with it, whippersnappers. Before we get started, please hit the like button and subscribe to Culture Translate, where we translate African culture. Simple enough, right? If that sounds good, please like and subscribe. Now back to our report. Number 5, Cairo, Egypt. While this ancient African city on the Nile River does not have a great number of tall skyscrapers compared to some other cities on this list, Cairo makes up for it with a skyline that is a surreal blend of the old and the new. From an eastern view of the Cairo skyline, the mosques of Sultan Hassan and Al Rifai, which were completed around 1912, stand tall in the foreground. Meanwhile, in the distant backdrop, the beautiful cylindrical structure of the Cairo Tower is clearly visible, as are the ultra-modern Sofitel Hotel and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, 2 of Cairo's tallest buildings. At a certain angle, pyramids. Yes, pyramids are well in sight. Talk about a travel through time. Number 4, Johannesburg, South Africa. Joburg, Africa's wealthiest city, has one of the most instantly recognizable skylines in the world, as it must be the only one that has featured a soccer ball. The Hillbrow Tower is perhaps the tallest structure that is arguably a building in Africa at 833 feet. It once had a revolving restaurant and for some time featured a giant soccer ball to celebrate the 2010 FIFA World Cup in Johannesburg. It is worth noting that Joburg is the tallest city in Africa and would be runaway number 1 on this list if its skyscrapers were not so spread out. Within distance of Hillbrow is Ponte Tower, a residential building that represented upward mobility for white citizens during apartheid. It fell into neglect before a major revival due to a new black middle class. The Ponte Tower has come to symbolize the rise and fall and rise again of South Africa's commercial capital. Number 3, Lagos, Nigeria. Typical of Africa's largest megacity, its place on this list owes to sheer power and numbers. Lagos, which is one of Africa's 3 wealthiest cities, boasts at least 8 buildings over 200 feet, giving it one of Africa's tallest skylines. The Nicom House has been a fixture of the skyline since 1979, and at 525 feet is the 5th largest building in Africa, pending completion of the iconic tower in Egypt and Tour F in Ivory Coast. Another major feature of the Lagos skyline is the Union Bank's headquarters building with its triumphant blue horse logo plastered on its side, at approximately 407 feet, and next to it the First Bank's headquarters building in complete gold glass panels, both buildings together projecting a banking sector that is perhaps the strongest black institution in the world. Number 2, Nairobi, Kenya. The Nairobi skyline offers a bit of everything. It features 2 of the tallest buildings in all of Africa, the foremost being the Britam Tower, which at 656 feet is the 3rd tallest full-scale building measured by height and width, behind the Carlton Center and the Leonardo Santon, both of which are in Joburg. This is a good point to mention a clever aspect of modern architecture. Developers will oftentimes install spires carefully constructed to achieve a certain height, which is what makes the Britam Tower the tallest building in East Africa, ahead of the more robust Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. Nerdy architecture tricks aside, Nairobi boasts 6 buildings over 400 feet and a full skyline that can be viewed from many angles, including an incredible vista that captures Kenya's national park, with animals roaming leisurely in the Sahara sun. Hey there, buddy. Number 1 on our list. Luanda in Angola. The Luanda skyline would already be impressive even without all the construction cranes on building tops that dot the landscape, promising even more incredible buildings to come. Not only does Luanda have more buildings eclipsing 300 feet than do cities such as Lagos, the buildings in this capital of the new oil giant of Africa are newer and more modern buildings made with glass and concrete structures. These beautiful edificios, that's buildings to you, have various uses spanning government, residential and leisure. However, the Luanda skyline really takes the cake over every other African city when viewed against the Bay of Luanda and the highway that runs alongside it. The Avenida 4 de Fevereiro is lined with trees and an adjacent promenade, and together with the skyscrapers, offers a panorama that is one of the most incredible in Africa and a sight to behold. So there you have it. In reality, several African cities, including Addis Ababa, Abidjan, Brazzaville, Dar es Salaam, Dakar, and Cape Town, with its iconic stadium next to the Atlantic, could vie for a place on this list. Consider them honorably mentioned. One thing is for sure, Africa is open for business. Thanks for watching.